anyone else think the new free booster system is one of the best things to happen to Snap? I mean, the new free booster system means I spend more money than I did previously, so I think Brode thinks it's a good improvement. The Marvel Snap economists were cooking with that change. I feel like whenever you adjust a system like that, where like they change the system to make the human behavior spend more money while simultaneously making everybody happy to spend more money, that's like the golden fucking goose of mobile game monetization, right? Look at these suckers. They're all fucking harpooned and they got smiles on their faces. Ooh, this matchup's probably pretty good for us. They are a purely linear deck. Meaning that, how do you spend more money from the fast booster section? I have more cards to upgrade that I wouldn't otherwise be able to upgrade, so I spend more credits. Do I want to draw my deck? Is drawing my deck good or bad? I guess if I only draw one, I can onslaught here for funsies. Actually, maybe I'm supposed to wait and mystique the onslaught. Could go either way. It's less resource efficient though. Maybe I'm in the minority, but I'm happy they got rid of the whale tracker because I spend less on Snap now not getting the shiny. I think you're in the minority there, Ben. I think if people spending less was the average result of the whale tracker, they would have left it around. But the fact that it hasn't returned means that spending is increased on average with it gone. Do I want to play Brood? Probably. Yeah, there's probably a lot of right ways to eat this. This is an accurate take.
Behold my mighty hand.
I don't know if this is the optimal play, but it's the one we're making. Exodia Obliterate, yes, that. Oh my god, this rodent's gonna be huge if it lives. Holy. You should have done one more Gambit. Yeah, that's fair. Alright, Brode, work it out. Okay, we killed the rodent, so we should be good. Civilized Scholar, thank you for the 62 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. This is where I would put my fast forward if I had one. To pew. What is and isn't a fast forward always confuses me. So I think the thing about the fast forward feature is that it fast forwards long individual actions. It doesn't fast forward a bunch of short actions. And that's what this Gambit is, right? Gambit is a bunch of short animations. And obviously, it should, like, look at some kind of queue and then skip a bunch of short ones in a perfect world. But that's currently what it's missing, I think. Lord Keeney, thank you for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Sandcastle very appropriately kicked there. I play a very basic Hella deck, not the one with lots of 6-drops, and half the time it skips reviving my 4 creatures. Yeah, that's a sad one. All right, I want to prefix this discussion point with I do not want to talk about specific content creators, and I'm going to time people out if they bring up specific names. But I would like to ask the general question, because I'm sure there are some people in this community that overlap what I'm going to ask about. Did something happen in the Italian Marvel Snap community specifically that caused a bunch of people to nope out? Because for a long time, there were a number of Italian creators that were bigger than a number of English creators, and they just had a lot of representation here in the Twitch space, and it seems like that fell off completely in the last few months. And like, it's normal to have some attrition, like everybody's numbers are down a bit compared to what they were, which is normal in a live service game, but the Italian metrics dropped off significantly harder than the English ones did. I was wondering if there was something that I missed. No, I don't think it's related to the prime change. That hasn't happened yet. I was talking Discord about some people being mad about leagues. That seems like such a weird thing to be mad about. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and leave here. Game 11 and Crimson Cosmos both suck for us.
Escape.
What's going on, Panda? Thank you for the 5 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. These are also not seller locations for us. Well, I guess we can magic this one away at least to unlock. Gambiting there. Nocturne will be good this deck. Nocturne is going to generically be a good surfer card, yes. Getting rid of Crimson Cosmos will be welcome. I think I wait on Wong for the sake of not getting my Sandcastle kicked.
Behold my mighty hand.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Come on! I do this, and then it's 3, 2, 2. It's probably fine. Shang, Magneto, and things like Spider-Man are there cards we need to be concerned about from their deck. Dead. I think we're only gaining, I guess we gain 16 per. Do we tie here, actually? Is that the math on this? It's 16 per? Is there a roller around Odin in this deck as well? I don't think so. Okay. I thought Spider-Man was gonna mess us up, but that worked out. Good, clean. Tie your 43 power lane with the breaker. Slightly above average combo gameplay. That is in fact exactly how we drew it up. What's going on, ENT? Thank you for the 17 months. Welcome back. Surfer did in fact do some bits there. Get rid of the island here. It's possible that playing Wong proactively against their Spider-Man is wrong. Maybe I should have mystique the Wong last turn instead of praying for the onslaught.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
People just hate snapping their good plays. Makes Conquest a lot easier to beat them, but you gotta press the button before your disruption flips up, gamers.
Escape.
There's a good chance that our deck is so weak to a singular Spider-Man that, like, we're still torched here in the long term, but we definitely would be more torched if they were raising the stakes appropriately.
Snap.
It's actually atrocious for me. Snap Yapping before a good play is rude. Someone with the username Memory Lapse Guy is something of an expert in being rude while playing card games, though, huh? Unless that's not a Magic the Gathering reference. Green Goblin's technically a non-bow with Gambit, but our Gambit's a professional, so I assume he'll be in the clear here. Them getting random G'd is brutal. Best here. That could have gone worse, but we're still torched here. I'll take one more shot.
Escaped. Oh, snap.
Magic definitely seems like one of our better cards in this matchup because they don't have a way that they shouldn't have a way that interacts with Limbo. Well then, glad they burned that proactively. I think it's just this now, yeah? Appropriate order in case I draw Absorbing Man, I want to. Thera? Think I'm just walking. Message me when you hit 13 advance so I know when you did it. What do we think about this while I have priority? Just like take him to Pound Town. Like, I don't think I'm gonna have priority next turn. I think there's a chance we get Spider-Man, so. God damn it, Gambit. Alright, he killed everything other than Reality Stone, so I guess I'll forgive him. And remember, you have to actually discard cards in order for him to kill stuff, so we gotta leave a swarm in hand. DMC, thank you for the prime, I appreciate it. Pew pew, pew pew pew. Jeff, you gave me a free win at Infinite Conquest this morning and turned it into a total win. Nice, congrats. Your shiny border is lovely. Yeah, I'm taking this season off of doing Infinite Conquest personally, so I've been gifting out wins every time we make it to a season. Or make it to a ticket. Oh, so I turned it into a Prime sub. Chat, if I could turn every Infinite Conquest ticket I had into a Prime sub, I'd be so much better off. Holy crap, imagine getting paid $250 for an Infinite ticket. Killer Eevee.
Victory.
Look at our lovelies murdering their board. Alright, 2 shots at their last 2 cubes here. You know, just like my country, I'm young, scrappy, and hungry. This might be a game where we just, like, brood into absorb him. God damn it. Well, we might not do shit, chat. Oh, no. Brood! I think she's gonna cook, chat. I think we're about to murder something that's really good. We're gonna discard Swarmer herself. Never lucky. Never lucky. Alright, absorbing me in the Gambit. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. She's cooking, chat. She's cooking. Look at her go. Okay, and then remember, Agatha is guaranteed to play herself. So we'll have control over turn 7. It's unfortunate that both of our Wong payoffs have been played already. This is what it is. At least we'll get to show them. At least we'll get to show them the Agatha here. They'll understand our play. Please go right. Please go right. Unlucky. I think I do this so Captain Marvel can't move. Although I guess I lose here then. Do I do this? Then if Captain Marvel moves, we're winning here. We kept them honest. It's probably the line. I assume this last card is Shang and we're about to see it. They just haven't had a reason to play it yet. I'm gonna need some sandcastles in the chat, gamers. I need some sandcastles in the chat. Decimated by Brood into sandcastle destruction. And then, of course, in the deciding game, they have Red Hulk on 1. Unlucky. Hey, Rhinova, thank you for the 16 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Fuck's sake. This happening the last queue of an Infinite Conquest 5. Yeah, that's why I'm not playing Infinite Conquest this season, unironically. Such a deeply negative experience. Very little desire to have it happen. Think. Hate everything. That's why we're conceding all of our Infinite tickets this season. Oh, man. I remember the first time I beat a bad brew with my stock tier 1 deck in silver. It was a big deal for me, too. Especially when it took them losing a match to fucking Agatha. Oh my god.
Oh, snap.
How many decks do we have after this? I have 2 more lined up after this one. Looks like Loki. They're walking. Yes, that is our walk for the palace. Where are my sandcastle emotes at, gamers? Where are my sandcastle emotes at? Please send help! My sandcastle is dying! We beat that, yeah? Get him, got him good?
Victory.
Kyle Flush, thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate that. Can you absorbing man your Mystique? Only if Mystique doesn't copy something. But obviously that's not useful then, yeah? Mystique loses her on-reveal text and becomes an ongoing when she functions. Blob. Blob is simultaneously both an on-reveal and ongoing. It is different than Mystique. The new July card will function the same. Which July card? You gotta be more specific than that.
This just in.
We did play Agent Coulson in the Murder World. Seems weird. The big combo on the last turn, I think. Let's go Brood into Sarah, into Onslaught my Sarah. Alright, we need to draw Gambit or Silver Surfer next turn. So two-thirds chance to hit one of our payoffs. Having a lot of trouble with my account. I've lost my collection level of cards. I've contacted support, but all I've got was bots. Was your account linked to a Google account or Apple account or some type of third-party account? Or was it just kind of saved locally on your device? It's a combo.
Opponent snapped.
I would love to play for all of it. Let's do it. Yeah, you should always link your accounts in any of these games. You're spending money and time, even just time. This is adorable. All right, bud, let me show you how it's done. Yeah, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't really provide any support for you. I'm not a Marvel Snap support channel. Hopefully, hope you're able to get your stuff back, but if it's not linked to your, it sounds like there's a chance you were never linked to your account to begin with on your first install. If linking it now doesn't work.
Victory.
I have to imagine your account still exists though on their server. I don't know how getting access to it worked though. You'd have to go through their channels. I have heard some horror stories about Marvel Snap's outsourced generic support stuff. But the Discord's usually pretty helpful. Alright, gamers. Looks like it's about time for an ad roll. I'm gonna scarf down my leftover burrito for some lunch. We're gonna play some more of this when we get back. We'll see you in 120 seconds. Hey, Kyle, thanks for the 29 months. Welcome back. Speedwagon, thanks for the 26 months. Looking forward to the new season. Yeah, it should be a great week for Snap. We got drops kicking off again tomorrow with some X-Men 97 variants, 2 sweet card releases, an OTA on Thursday, metagames in a good spot as is. There's a lot to like. I hope the OTA is mostly buffed. I feel like the only cards I would expect nerfs to at the moment would be Professor X or Hela. I'd be kind of surprised if they touched either of those. So yeah, I'm expecting mostly buffs on Thursday. Yes, Nocturne and Blink releasing this week. Tomorrow specifically. To set a low bar, this deck is the best Wong Onslaught combo deck I've played in a long time in Marvel Snap. But I should also emphasize how much of an incredibly low bar that is to clear. We've been winning a number of games and we've got tech carded. Yes, we have beaten a number of people trying to kick our sandcastle around. This is the part where the Galactus deck snaps me, yo. Flutter's probably a terrible matchup for us. Galactus definitely is, but even generic Clutter's probably not good.
Kneel before Galactus.
Thank you for the year and a half. Welcome back. Sandcastle obliterated. I would like to blame that game on Violet in chat for pointing out that we had been beating people kicking our Sandcastle. Because that deck is 1000% a Sandcastle kick we can't ever keep up with. When people put F's in chat because of something that happened in the game, it always gives me a mini panic attack because of people putting F's in chat when the stream disconnects. This immediately makes me like check my stats, like, oh shit, did something die? Speaking of connections, at the risk of bearing the wrath of saying something positive about an Elon Musk related product, Christy and I picked up a Starlink satellite internet for our camper because there aren't any other wired internet options available there. And I was actually kind of impressed with that. It's set up and connected way easier and cleaner than I was expecting and was a lot more functional than I was anticipating. Starlink is the satellite pollution of space launches. Is the point of camping to get away from tech? No, we have a glamper. Park model RV with a full porch attached to the side of it. It's way closer to a vacation home than a active, dedicated nature thing. I assume, like all Elon Musk related things, that Elon's not actually responsible for any of the actual tech in SpaceX, and he just bought it after the fact to put his name on it.
Behold my mighty hand.
I would believe he's personally responsible for the Cybertruck, though. Mood. I buy that one. I have it on decent authority that the Rivals codes are gonna go out tomorrow on the 7th. Sweet. I think we're good here, yeah? Adding a bunch in the middle. From what I understand, people who actually run stuff at Elon's company have to actively manage him and steer him away from important stuff. Well, yeah, because when he's left to his own devices to do what he thinks is important, the result is Twitter. I think a lot of people who maybe started using the site more recently don't fully understand it, but like my Twitter account is gosh, almost 16 years old at this point, and it's hard to fully put into words how much worse the platform is underneath him as opposed to what it was before. Am I gonna try a gold run with this deck? I mean, we're gonna let this deck, we'll probably play till we hit one more loss. Yeah, maybe one or two more, but I don't intend to buy a gold ticket. While I don't know that you necessarily intended to be malicious, I think it's in bad taste to make a joke about using a dead name with regards to Twitter versus X. Let's not do that in my chat. Thanks. To give one really pointed example, there are so many pornography-related spam bots on Twitter, I cannot safely scroll my mentions on Stream Live anymore. Just to give one of many very pointed examples of how the site has been made very functionally worse.
Live from the Daily Bugle.
Need someone to tag me in some of these posts so I know which ones to block. Yes, having people who thought it was a good idea to pay for a blue check having the top response priority is also something that makes the platform experience markedly worse. Like they're gonna Professor X me in the middle. There's nothing I can really do about it, yeah? The dead name joke with Twitter actually comes from Elon himself to piss off his trans kid. Yeah, that sounds like that asshole. Want a magic mid? No, I think we'll have a decent shot to win here with just Wog into Gambit into Surfer. Can Warhead kill Professor X? No. poor fucking Wong, chat. His sandcastle just does not have a good day. Alright, I guess we got there. But like, man, this guy, Oh no, not again, the story of Wong. Doubly punished for playing Dagger on the right side. Alright, they're not gonna have Professor X this game or Mobius, and we're gonna get to curve Sarah into Onslaught. It's gonna be glorious. I believe, chat. I believe. WoG was the original skill test of content creators. It's shifted to Loki now, but yes, yeah, that's true. The what do people think is busted? WoG was the earliest. Lots of people complaining about this thing. It's very clearly fine. So it's Brood Wave into Surfer Absorbing Man, but there's some question about where do I deploy the things I'm deploying. I think it's this, and then we like Surfer Absorbing Man. Off topic, not sure if you're a TED watcher, but there was a talk uploaded a few days ago titled How the US is Destroying Young People's Future by Scott Galloway, which my parasocial knowledge of you says you might find interesting. I mean, that sounds like a self-flating hearing someone talk about something that I already understand and know to be true. Guess which lane the Alioth is. Oh god, if their last unknown card is Alioth. Who's Scott Galloway for the uninformed? Not for me, obviously. I clearly know who Scott Galloway is, but for everybody else at home, are we sure who Scott Galloway is? He's a professor and entertainer, works at a professor at NYU Business School. Become a talking head over the last few years. Alright, let's try to get one more in. That tick's been solid. I don't know, I think I actually disagree with your point, Kyle. I think there's a good chance that completely left alone, this deck bigger fishes most of the other linear decks in the game. And it's also been surprisingly resilient, being able to win with the Surfer backup plan through a lot of disruption to our linear game plan. So, like, you're right, that last game we only won because we were a Surfer deck, but, like, explicitly being a Surfer deck is the game plan when our opponent interacts with our linear game plan.
Opponent snapped.
We're looking for Mystique and Absorbing Man. Maybe an Onslaught. Got a lot of good draws here. I don't know what exactly the opponent is doing just yet. Could be some kind of weird Cerebro 2 build, but I would assume Bear and Zebo more than anything once we see Yondu. Yeah, they could just be bounce playing Yondu too. There's a lot of people that think that that card counts as disruption. Oh shit, not a 2-cost magic. Unlucky. You got me. Losing Mystique is sad. There. Lose Brood there. I don't think I can beat a Doc Ock. So I think we're just hoping they don't have that.
Behold my mighty hand.
This plays around a rug pull to the best of our abilities. Some 2-power swarms for the last turn in case that's enough. Wave is unfortunate. Oh, I super did. Oh. Need to not be able to draw our we need our Onslaught or our Mystique so we can kill more of their board. Don't you want 2 swarms right instead of left? I mean, 2 swarms right still loses to a single demon there, so. I think it likely matters. Frenchy Casino, thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. What up, Burger? Thanks for the 4.5 years. Appreciate the 54 months. Long time. Your week's off to a good start. You're going pretty swell here. I done a little bit of a loadout there, but overall that deck was pretty solid. Neat mix of can combo, but also has like a reasonable backup plan that also synergizes with our combo cards. I think the big standout in my mind that gave the deck some resiliency into interaction is Sarah into Onslaught in your 7-turn games lets you deploy Wong, Mystique, Surfer Absorbing Man, or Wong, Mystique, Gambit Absorbing Man all in one fell swoop, which makes you resilient to a lot of disruption that's not like directly clogging you, which is solid.